Coach, thank you. We have playoff football and bone-chilling playoff football at that in the city of brotherly love at Lincoln Financial Field. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
Go. Ready. Kill.
Go. Jim.
Now a handoff here to his running back. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
87. Hey, kill it. Hey, 4-2, kill it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
20.
It's our field. Hey, it's our route.
On first down, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Watch twins.
Throwing his Wentz. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return will stop right around the 25. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Switch it.
To throw on third down. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
Let's go.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Wentz now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
And the Saints first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run. This is Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go, D. Gonna be a long Greystone, Travis. Hey, dude. Show it up. 56.
2nd and 3. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Watch the safety creep. Kill.
On first and 10, Herbert. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Come on, set.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go, dude. Here I come again.
To throw again, Herbert. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back to throw. Herbert looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Chris Godwin, 26 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs, but the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game, that they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Sunday. You remember me? Let's go, baby. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
On 2nd down and 4. Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Got a man, it's Arcega-Whiteside. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 39. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he gives this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Saints' 40-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Wentz. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that out.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 15-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And the Saints first down.
Let's go now. 30 base. We ain't giving them nothing today. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Ready?
Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Herndon's got it complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Ready. 50, 50. Wild Bill.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
General West. Hey, Alpha.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Down. 60 Alpha. 56. Hey, defense. Hey, defense, let's go. Check. Lucky. 61. Matchbox, right.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
So quickly all the way at the 40-yard line.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep.
On the counter, here's Kamara. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Tighten up.
On first down, Herbert. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep left side, and that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Rush City, Rush X3, Rush 218, chopper. Check 24.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
47.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Austin. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee and get to the locker room.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Again, it's Kamara. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Hey, we gotta get this stop here, D. Check. Hey, echo.
On third down, Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
This is taken around the 12. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
I got you, boy.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2nd and 9 now. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Let's go.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Operating from the gun, Herbert. He gets it to Thomas. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play there for the Saints. 42 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Tajay Sharp there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. Lutz good on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Hey, tight. Check nickel.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
The 46-yard line.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
You got tight. You got tight right there. Check safety. Straight 15. Two jet.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Marcus Davenport picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
3 down. Mike 50. I got it. Hey, Delta. Mike 50. Watch the run. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Throwing now is Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Deuce. Hey, empty.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go. Ready? Watch the run. Lefty. Fresno.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The Eagles on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Wentz now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They go play action here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Second and 13. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Barnett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Go on.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing again. Herbert. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Back to throw. Herbert, he's going to sling this deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On 4th down, Herbert, open man, it's the man. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a first down on that effort. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Kamara. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Herbert. Looking right sideline, that's complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on. It's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the gun, Herbert. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, Herbert. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He's back to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get to field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Wentz. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
74.
Now Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on second down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what's thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They are just brimming with it right now.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have a little bit of time here to get in the field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, you know, sitting up here in the booth,
take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heels a bit.
See if they do that. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off play action. Herbert looking long for Thomas. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 11. Boy, Charles, what a critical call in a tie game late.
You want to have the tight coverage. You don't want to cause the penalty. Pass interference in this case. Remember, it's a yardage foul in the NFL, a spot foul where it occurs.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 34-yard attempt.
Now flags come in before the kick. Clearly there was contact. Who was at fault? So it was the defense that jumped, and that'll move them 5 yards closer.
I wonder how they did it. What if they twitched a little bit up front, you know, a little subtle head movement that the officials didn't detect, but they got it done. Now they're 5 yards closer for their field goal attempt.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 29-yard attempt.